How's everyone doing today? There we go. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Live from the couch today because I wanted to be comfortable. And plus, I can watch my documentary that comes out this evening in about 30 minutes. So right after this, I'll be able to watch it, even though I already watched it. But yeah, as far as announcements go, welcome to Focus TV. I'm waiting for Jules. Jules had a slight emergency, but he'll be here in a little bit. The documentary does come out this evening, 5:30 Pacific time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on our YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube, search Focus Health and Wellness, you will see it up there. It's also on my profile, so just click on the link. It'll be there. Also, I was able to do a podcast this past week that just came out. If you go to THS, so the Healing Space podcast, their Instagram, you will be directed to whatever streaming platform you use, so Spotify, Apple, whatever else, it's up there. You can hear it. It was great to speak with my friend Raven, Chavez, and Mark, and just speaking about everything that's going on nowadays, and then how we're dealing with everything and how we're healing with everything. So, next week we have a packed week of shows. We'll be doing a show Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm really excited about the shows. I'm not going to announce them until next week, but just know that it's just exciting for me to bring these people on and to have these shows. These shows. I have no idea what that was. Sorry, I'm not going to be distracted by the TV. I was somewhat watching the thing that's going on at Mount Rushmore. So there are protesters blocking the entrance into Mount Rushmore. So I find that quite hilarious. But other than that, I hope everyone had a great week. We did make it to Friday, so it is the weekend, and that's always a good thing, so I'm happy about that. Other than that, Focus TV is alive and well, and we are kicking stronger than ever. Hopefully, as I see states are opening up and they're somewhat kind of reversing track on that, just, bear in mind your safety and other people's safety. I always tell people all the time, just wear a mask. It's not that hard. I did a dumb thing today, though. I headed to my part-time, and I just walked right outside and totally forgot about a mask. So that was kind of embarrassing because I had to walk to CVS and, buy a box of masks. But other than that, it's really not hard to remember. I'm not going to say I keep one in my car, but I do. But yeah, the funny thing is, I was watching YouTube today, and however long these videos or these interviews are up on YouTube, people are going to watch this in 2025, maybe 2030, 2040, and they're just going to be like, what are you talking about? So just so you know, for people in 2030 and 2040, we were stuck in the house for about 2 or 3 months. So we had to quarantine for quite some time. So there's that. So I'm just waiting for Jules now to get on, and then we'll be able to get started with the interview. Like I said, tonight is the night. The documentary does come out. I'm very excited, very nervous, anxious. I don't like to hear myself talk. I have seen bits and pieces of it. I haven't watched the whole thing all together. So that's going to be quite interesting for me to sit down and to watch it. My mom has watched it. A couple other family members have watched it, and they told me that they enjoyed it. So I was happy that they enjoyed it, and hopefully you will too. So that does come on 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific this evening as the YouTube channel does premiere. And all the interviews from Instagram are going to be uploaded onto YouTube along with a weekly segment just speaking about things, speaking about life, and things to help you get through whatever struggles you might be going through. So I'm really excited about that. I'm I'm excited about Focus TV continuing to grow and the guests that we have on. And then just excited about creating content that you guys want to talk about. The YouTube channel name is Focus Health and Wellness. So if in my bio there is a link for it, so you can go on there, click it, subscribe to it. You don't have to do the bell every time because all the videos get dropped at midnight tonight. So I don't know if you want that bell to be going off all night. So yeah, there's about 12 interviews that are going to be dropped on there along with the documentary. So very excited for that. Like I said, I'm just waiting for Jules now to... Yeah, definitely subscribe. A lot of good content's going to be up there. And like I said, someone had asked me today why I decided to make the documentary. And the biggest thing was, for me, I wanted to be able to get my story out. One, a lot of people ask me questions and kind of want to know my background and what's my story. I'm not the person to speak, to talk. I know it seems like I can just talk a lot, but to speak about myself is very hard, and I don't like doing that. So I decided that I just want to be able to sit down and to just tell my story. So that's what you're going to see. You're not going to see any glitz, any special effects, anything like that. It's just me and the camera, and I just tell my story from the time that I was born to the time. What's that for? What's that face for? Yeah, no. Believe it or not, I know people think that I can just talk. I mean, I can. That's evident that I can just talk. But when I talk about myself is when there's a difficulty. So hopefully everyone out there who's watching, you had a great week. Maybe we're getting back to work. Maybe we're not. Maybe we're killing our fitness goals. Maybe we're not. Either way, just, keep going, keep doing what you're doing. I'm just waiting for Jules now to get on. Like I said, he had a slight emergency, but he said he'll be on in a little bit. He's on Houston time, so yeah, it's only 7 o'clock there for him. So really excited about that. Feel free to dip out and then come right back on. We should be getting started in the next minute or so. I see Jules has joined. So, yeah. And we'll get him in here and we'll get going. You're sideways.
Oh shit! Hold on one second. Let me fix this real quick.
No problem. Take your time.
I'm gonna get this adjusted. Let's see if it's sideways. I'm probably gonna have to just hold it. If anything, if it's still sideways like that. Let's see. Yeah, because I don't think my tripod's gonna adjust that long.
Gotcha.
Oh well. I mean, I think we can make it work this way.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine.
Lighting okay?
Lighting's good. Lighting's good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. And yourself?
I'm good. I'm chilling on the couch today. I decided to take it easy and more relaxed a little bit.
Oh yeah, I've had a hectic day, man.
I was gonna say, I know you were running around.
It's hot out here. I had to go get a rental car. And my AC went out. That can kill you out here in Houston. If anybody from Houston from the South knows, y'all know that this 100-degree weather is not nothing to play with. Look, right? AC, and my car won't be fixed until Monday. So hey, I had to get me some wheels.
I don't want to hear it. I live in the desert, so it's been 100 degrees since May.
Oh yeah,
so right.
It's a bit extreme.
It's a lot, but yes, I can imagine without an air conditioner, that'd be tough. I would just give your followers a little minute. They'll be notified that you're on live, and then we'll get them in here, and then we'll get going.
All right.
Yes. How's everything with COVID? Are things starting to shut back down again?
I feel like things shut down out here last week actually. I mean, so it's still we're under like the mandatory order where everybody has to still wear their mask and so forth still. But for the most part, I mean, to me, stuff feels like it's normal with the exemption of like clubs and bars and a few restaurants being restricted.
Right.
Other than everything seems pretty normal to me out here. Just, wear your mask, stay sanitary, sanitize, wash your hands after everywhere you go, and,
Right.
Continue to social distance, which I advise everybody to continue to do because this COVID mess is real.
It is.
Real.
And
It's not a joke.
Yeah, people don't understand. People are flying out here. I stay about 10 minutes off of the strip.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere near that because people are like flying in like, oh, Vegas is open. I'm just like, no, I'm good. So
every city, I feel like every city that is like closed, people are leaving and going to the cities that are open. And the city that is open is going to be closed. And when the cities that are closed open back, it's going to be a repeating cycle. People, you got to just sit your asses down. Stay home.
Right. And then they go back to their cities and bring it back.
And contaminate somebody else. It's terrible. I blame poor leadership in the nation, but that's an entire different subject. That'll be a whole nother FaceTime.
That'd be another live. Yeah, we could do that live. That's what I was saying before you got on. I just had on the TV because he's doing a celebration for whatever holiday is coming up down at Mount Rushmore. And protesters were blocking the entrance. So I found that quite hilarious, actually. But
that's good.
So, yeah. So they're trying to move him out now, but whatever. But we'll go ahead and get started. So joining me this evening on Focus TV is Jules Palton. He's a personal trainer out of Houston, Texas. His brand new brand, I should say, Fit with Jules, correct?
Yes, Get Fit with Jules. Yes,
Get Fit with Jules. He just dropped it about about a month ago, right? Has it been
about 3 weeks? About 3 weeks to a month ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago. Yeah.
I was gonna say 3 weeks. I had seen it, and then that's when I hit you up. So yes, 3 weeks ago. So very excited to have him on here. Another fitness enthusiast. I always love to talk to because it's easy to talk to when we can just talk fitness all day.
I know. Right?
But the first thing I wanted to start with, because we all kind of have the same, not the same kind of start. We all start somewhere different. But to ask you. Growing up, did you have any type of, weight issues or anything? It doesn't have to be overweight. You may be underweight. Or did you have to deal with any of that when you were growing up?
Far as weight issues, I wouldn't say I had necessarily weight issues, but I'm not a very big guy. A lot of people think I'm this humongous guy. I mean, I'm 165, 170 pounds, 5'7". Growing up, I was usually the smaller guy out of all my friends. So, I guess you could say more of a thinner size, but I also went through plateaus and points in my life where I was a little short and chubby. But I was always athletic my entire life. So, far as anything like being like drastically weight concerned, I made those adjustments with all the sports and all the physical activity I did throughout my life in that course period from middle school, high school, even in my freshman year in college and so forth, playing basketball then at Stephen F. Austin. So pretty much, I wouldn't say it was necessarily an issue, but it was a little struggle. To this day, I still struggle with trying to reach certain goals, far as mass gaining goals in fitness. But nothing like drastic where I was obese or just completely underweight where I was like malnourished or something. So, no.
Gotcha. So what finally pushed you? You said you were in athletics. Sometimes athletics don't translate into actually fitness. What then forced you or pushed you into the fitness aspect?
You know what? I honestly want to say that my talent agent pushed me into it.
Okay.
My talent agent, she was one of those. She was like, you have this physique, you have this body, but she was like, I've watched your journey, and you didn't always have this. So she was like, have you ever thought about, training or sharing your fitness tips with people, and actually profit and making a small profit off of this? And I took, into deep consideration and thought about it for quite some time. I had a lot of people ask me, what do you do for your abs? This, that, and the third. And, I just woke up one morning. I woke up one morning and I received an email. Somebody tried to give me a gig with MTM agency. Mm-hmm. And I also did some work with the J. Milan agency, training with them, doing boot camps out here in Houston a while back. And as I seen like all the opportunities that fitness, possessed by doing this, it was kind of an eye opener. It was like, why not share this with people? I know stuff that a lot of people don't know, like far as tips how to get, fit a lot faster or achieving certain goals as far as diet plans and so forth. So I started sharing my knowledge with that, and when I did, I started seeing money. And with me doing that, I was like, well, if this is something I actually enjoy doing, why not try to make a profit off of it? So I decided, to take it a little bit more seriously. Let me study this. Let me go, try to get certified. Actually learn this, learn the parts of the body, the human anatomy, everything in that aspect. And once I finally did that, more opportunities continued to come. More gyms started reaching out. Hey, we want to offer some money, or offer you a contract to do this. And at that point, when I started doing it like almost a full-time sense, people started, people believe in you. People aspire to, I want to look like this. And when I actually decided to take it seriously and start helping people transform their bodies to get that certain goal, it was a really good feeling. And at that point, I was like, well, maybe this could be, a possible another calling or so forth. And here I am now, 4.5 years later. It'll be 5 years. Actually, it'll be 5 years at the end of this month that I've been, involved in personal training.
Okay. So I got this question for a podcast I did this past week. And it's an interesting question because of where my journey started and being overweight to getting fit. But to ask someone who's somewhat been fit pretty much their whole life, it'd be interesting your answer. So the question I have is, when it comes to the fitness side of it, when did it change for you, if it ever did, or if it ever was a difference for you, where it was a health thing versus a vanity thing? Or has it always been, I want to be healthy, or maybe it's always been, I just want to look good, that type of thing? Where do you think for you, do you fall in that?
I think it became more of a health thing when a guy that was my same size, frame, and everything else approached me on his health concerns. He was like, he was a diabetic, dealing with certain underlying diseases and so forth that people have to exert so much cardiovascular activity to keep themselves healthy. It just made me realize, what if, and the guy of mine, he was younger than me, and it was something he didn't always have, his entire life. He said it was a change in his diet that kind of led to it, along with, genetics. And that kind of started making me realize more like maybe I should do this more, for health purposes. And then I started looking at people like Will Smith and really Angela Bassett, at the age they're at, their secrets to living and looking that, let me reword that. Their secrets to preserving their youth was exercising daily and drinking a lot of water. Running 1 to 3 miles a day and drinking so much water, 5 days, at least 4 to 5 days in a week. That is really what made me start realizing maybe I should take this more of a healthier, serious note, because I mean, who doesn't want, to preserve their youth forever? Who doesn't want to look like they're in their early 30s, late 30s, early 40s by the time they hit 60 years old or something, And that doesn't just come with genetics. A lot of that comes with people who exercise and take care of themselves and their bodies daily. Proper dieting, proper exercise, certain nutrition guidelines to follow by. And that's really when it became a thing for me on a health aspect, And again, like I said, my agent earlier, years ago, when she reached out and told me about it, she was also really big on, why don't you try to, educate the people on, the benefits of being healthy, and it made me, and in the process of me teaching people, I was still teaching myself. And when I was doing that, it just sparked a different fuse in me. Like maybe this is something I do want to do, long term, long term to benefit my health. And of course, obviously, to look good as well. I mean, right. I'm in the entertainment industry, so me keeping a certain physique is essential, is necessary, especially modeling. If I do like a shirtless ad or, anything, I can get called for a gig at any moment, and I have to look like these pictures. I have to be ready. Right. So those two things primarily.
Okay. Now, any preference to workouts? Obviously, with COVID, things have been shut down, but prior to and things opening up. But any preference to workouts? Do you prefer a muscle isolation, full body workouts, HIIT, anything, or all of it?
I would say all of it. You
Okay.
know, you have to give yourself a chance to see what works best for your body, especially depending on your body type, because everybody's body doesn't respond to certain exercises the same way. Like a sprinter could respond way more better to hit workouts versus someone who's just getting started because of how fast and how intense it is. It's a very short workout, you know, 30 minutes of high intensity, high volume exercises. That's a lot different than somebody who would, you know, do a boot camp, like a circular, which is a, you know, a circular workout where you do constant different stations, which is usually how most boot camps are operated. You have 5 or 6 different stations going on at one time, and you just keep going around and rotating, you know, doing probably 3 to 4 sets of each thing. Me personally, my favorite is probably either probably circuit workout, excuse me, that's the proper term. Either circuit training for me, um, and I only refer to like hit training maybe once a week because I have a very high metabolism, and you can
Okay.
burn off a lot of calories and burn a lot of fat, a lot of body fat and unnecessary weight the most when you're doing hit workouts
Right.
because of the level of intensity for that. Um, so I would say that. I mean, only time I tell people to work on isolated training is when you're trying to make sure you want everything to be the exact same strength in your body. Like, let's say you have, like, everybody has a one arm that's stronger than the other. Like, I would tell someone to do before I put you on a bench press to do, you know, the solid bar with everything, I would have you do isolated chest press with dumbbells with the same size, you know, one arm at a time, just to build up that left arm strength to equal that right. So when you get to that bench press, you can do more than what you did before, or, you know, especially if you're trying to work on maxing out to build strength. That's
Right.
usually the only time that I tell people to do something like that when it comes to isolation, or if you're getting over like an injury, like a torn ACL or something in your knee, and you know you have to build up over that, build that over time. I see a lot of people feel like when they have something in their body that's just, you know, aching or hurting, they feel like, oh, I should just leave this alone because I'm hurting. And in our reality, that muscle or that body part in your that you're trying to work on is actually weak, and it needs to be exercised to build that up. It just same thing with having a bad back. You know, a lot of people feel like, you know, if you have like a hunchback or something, people feel like, oh, because I have lower back pains, I'm not supposed to work on it at all. In our reality, you're supposed to do lighter workouts for that and build that muscle up so you can, you know, correct it. And
Yeah.
that's really the only time I'll tell somebody to do something isolated.
Now, as far as nutrition is concerned, how important is that for you and for your clients? You know, when you're introducing them to fitness and getting them started, how important is the nutrition aspect for you?
Man, man, that's almost the first thing I tell them. I always
Okay.
ask them, what is your diet like? How do you eat? You know, because people don't realize in fitness, it's a 70-30 and an 80-20 rule, which means it's 70% of what you eat or 80% of what you eat, however you want to put it. And, you know, then the 20 or 30% falls into you actually exercising. You know, people, a lot of people, especially a lot of guys, you can tell when a guy has been bulking the healthy way or bulking the wrong way, because they can have this, they'll either have, you know, the mass to them, and they'll have either the more pudgier like stomach, or they'll have more of a lean shaped stomach and still have the muscle mass to them. You can tell when somebody was eating fast food instead of eating high fat proteins like avocados or stuff with olive oil and so forth in it versus, you know, vegetable oil. And, you know, your nutrition is very important. Your nutrition is what's going to get you to where you want to be, whether it's to gain weight or lose weight. You know, gaining weight, you know, if you want to gain it the right way, you know, 2,500 to 3,000 calories a day, you know, 4 to 5 times a week. If you're trying to lose it, you know, anything less than 2,400 calories, I would never say less than 1,700, because you can put your body through a starving phase, and it's not healthy. You can probably pass out, dehydrate. It's very possible. I've seen it happen many times. But nutrition is very important. You know, sticking to a certain diet plan, you know, meal prepping, especially when you're trying to reach a goal, you have to get your body to be consistent to that. If you have to set alarms, you know, like I had to do for myself, if you need to set an alarm, 5, 6 alarms a day to, you know, eat your meal, then eat your snack, then eat lunch, then snack, you know, then eat dinner, you know, however you're trying to do it, then by all means do that. But if you're not like eating like how you're supposed to, or like people, another example, a lot of people who try to lose weight think that if I eat this one time the entire day, this weight's going to go away. That is the most incorrect thing for any human to do, whether you're trying to gain or lose weight. For one, if you're trying to when you're trying to lose weight, your body's like a battery. You can easily eat that one time, and your body's going to store onto that fat and that little bit of calories that you gained the entire day, because it doesn't know when its next meal is going to be. And that weight is stuck to you. And you're wondering, well, I'm only eating one time a day, but I can't seem to get this 200 pounds off of me. Right. Well, you have to, the more you eat, the more your metabolism is speeding up. And that metabolism is poo. Guess what's going to happen with that diet and everything else? It's going to go down the drain. You're just going to be wasting your time. So proper nutrition, you know, if you need to speak with a nutritionist, if need be, then by all means do so. But I always tell people your nutrition is the most important thing that's going to make or break you, because you can come to this gym and you can put in an hour and a half, 2 hours of the hardest workouts ever. But if you don't replenish your body with what you're supposed to be eating with afterwards, the correct carbs or proteins, it's a waste. Going to go right back to it. I mean, you'll feel good. You'll probably be a little stronger, but your weight is not going to go here or there.
Now, for you personally and your goals, what is your nutrition like?
My nutrition honestly is a hit or miss, but I drink a lot more water. I don't drink a lot of soda. I've cut out a lot of sugar because I love candy. I can't even say that I don't, but I don't really care for like sweets.
What's your favorite candy?
Turtles.
Everything. Oh, turtles. Okay.
Most unhealthiest chocolate ever. I love turtles to death. And I love Twizzlers. And turtles. I can eat them daily. If I had the option to, I would. But chocolate is not good for my skin. Too much chocolate or soda, I'll break out. And I don't got time for breakouts, especially we are dealing with this humidity here in Houston. I don't need anything extra that's gonna, alter that. But my diet specifically, I try to eat I eat 3 times a day. Do I eat 1,000 calories each time like I'm supposed to be? No, but I definitely get at least the amount of nutrients I'm supposed to. I get a balanced breakfast, a balanced lunch, and my dinner is usually always consistently a protein, a carb, and a starch. I try to keep it that way. And regardless of what I'm doing, I'm going to eat 3 times a day. I don't care if it's a small or a big meal, but I have to keep it going because my metabolism works very fast, and I can easily lose what I've gained in a millisecond.
Yeah. Now, do you believe in? You said you like candy, so I'm not going to say this is a given, but do you believe in cheat meals?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your go-to cheat meal then?
Pizza.
Oh, that's really a thing. I mean, pizza's my weakness.
Man, either pizza and wings or pizza and pasta. It's always one of those 2 P's. It has to be. It's a lot of carbs in it. I mean, it can be healthy if you decide to eat, like a veggie pizza or something with depending on where you go to. I'd say that, because not everybody not everybody bakes their pizzas the same. And you'd have to really process what type of tomato sauce you want to use, because there's different types, different sedatives for everything you do and everything that you eat. But my cheat meal is always pizza or probably pasta or wings, and I don't do that maybe once a week. I would never recommend anybody to do that, but our bodies do have certain cravings that you do have to satisfy. Sugar rushes are very real. I even have guys I know who are in competition training, and they have to have at least one cheat meal, at least a week, because it's something your body craves for. It sounds bad, but trust me, if you deprive your body of what like that type of craving, you'll regret it later.
That's where I'm at, is one a week.
Yeah, like you'll have mood swings and all of that stuff. It's real. It's very real.
You definitely need it. So what motivates Jules? What gets you up, especially during a time like COVID, where we were stuck in the house and the gym's taken away from us. Sometimes we don't want to get up and actually work out. And I know, looking on your page or being friends with you, you have those in-home workouts. But for the average person who doesn't get that motivation to do it, especially during these times, what suggestions can you give them to motivate them to get up and do it?
My biggest, for me, I always say if I'm not where I want to be that day, the day before, I feel like the next day I have to keep going. Um, the thing with fitness, it has to be the most consistent thing in your life. Fitness is not something you can be inconsistent with, because you can work so hard to get this and you can lose it at any moment. It happened with me, and it happened with a lot of my friends who work out daily with COVID. With the gym, without a gym, if you don't have like the proper knowledge to know how to work out from home or work out without equipment, or go to like the park like I did, then you can find yourself lost in this, and it can really hurt you. But far as motivation goes, I have a lot of people that look up to me. I have a lot of people who ask me about, hey, when are you gonna post another workout? Or hey, what are you doing for yours? Are you still running? Like, how's your diet coming? People around me keep me motivated by telling me that I actually inspire them. And knowing that I have a career where I'm supposed to look a certain way, that also benefits as well each and every time.
Yeah.
So my biggest thing like that is, if you're not where you want to be, get to it. Like, don't wait. The longer you wait for it, the longer you're not going to do it. Because this is something why I tell people fitness is something you have to want to do. You can't tell somebody, or a doctor can't, even a doctor can't tell you. You could be in the worst shape possible. You're a Reese's Pieces away from a heart attack.
Right.
And some people still don't take it seriously, but only you can actually get up out that bed and decide, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to get to it, all through the blood, sweat, and tears. It's going to be days you want to quit. It's going to be days you want to curse me out, and tell me, hey, screw this. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm sick of this. But it's all a part of the job. And when I know that you're hurting, not like injuring yourself, but when you're hurting to the point where it's like a good pain and it's like I'm getting results, I know I'm doing my job. And that makes me feel better, knowing that I'm helping somebody get to that next milestone in their life where they want to be.
Awesome. Now, I can only speak to the big guys to cut down and shred down. Obviously, in comparison, I'm quite larger than you. I didn't know you were 5'7". You photograph taller than 5'7". So people say I photograph shorter, but I don't know how that's possible. But speak on the perspective of someone who's a little bit, I hate to use the word smaller because you're not small by any means, but with that frame, and trying to gain weight. Because I know there's a lot of people out there who have that, they have that fast metabolism and they really want to put on weight and they want to pack on the pounds and pack on the muscles, but they really can't. So if you could speak to that for me a little bit.
Proper rest and eating, consuming the amount of calories that you're supposed to be eating. Like I mentioned earlier, for guys who come to me about mass gaining, because most people come to me about either serious gaining or they want to lose, or it's usually a woman who wants, lose weight, get a bigger butt, get rid of their stomach. Usually everybody has the same exact goals, not realizing that you have to touch every body part to make sure everything is symmetrical. For guys, I tell them to get more rest. Make sure you're getting at least, I should be saying 8 hours, but realistically, you need to be getting at least a minimum of 6 to 8 hours of sleep. And you have to make sure you're eating the proper diet. And a lot of guys who struggle with eating that much, you can't eat 2,000 calories and feel full in a day. You have to find something that works for you. You have to find something that you like that can substitute for that protein or that calorie intake that you're missing. Get a protein shake. Find the health. I shouldn't be really saying this, but Smoothie King. I mean, I say that because there's a lot of sugars and a lot of things inside of those. Got tongue twisted. There are a lot of things inside of those smoothies from places like that, and sugars that aren't that healthy for you, and you really shouldn't be trying to consume. But it's more healthier than it is non-healthier for you, and that is usually something, because a lot of people look at smoothies and stuff like ice cream or yogurt. You have to find something that works for you that you can get down, because if you're not, you're never going to get to that point. When it comes to weightlifting, you need to be lifting heavier weights with less repetition. Heavier weights for that, like, let's say if you were trying to do mass gaining, I'd put you on, like, let's say we have a heavy lifting day. Let's go do bench. We're going to do six sets of 5 reps of very heavy weights. Following after that, immediately consuming a high volume protein shake with 30 grams of protein. hopefully something that has a minimum of 500 or more calories in it. And you need to make sure you're resting. That's what the trick for me when I tried to when I went through a mass bulking phase. The key for me was resting more because I don't sleep a lot, and I kind of suffer from insomnia, so I don't really sleep that early, and I had to start forcing myself to get more sleep. And when I realized that I was getting more sleep, my body started craving more food at weird times of the day. And when your body becomes programmed to it, you have to satisfy it. And if you don't, then you're just going to be wasting your time. But three tips: rests, consuming how much calories you're supposed to be in a day, and heavy weights. No, stay away from cardio by any means possible. Stay away from the treadmills, the jogging. If you want to do something cardio, you need to do something HIIT cardio related, like the heavy ropes, kettlebells, something in that keeps your body going from fast to slow intervals in between, which is primarily what HIIT is, HIIT cardio. That's your key to trying to get to gaining weight for a smaller guy.
Now, for anyone who's in Houston and they want to reach out to you and they want to get trained, what should they expect, especially for people who are getting into it for the first time? What should they look forward to? What should they dread possibly? But really, when they're training with you, what are we looking for?
I'm one of those trainers that's going to keep it very real with you. I'm not going to get out here and sell you a dream and tell you do this, do that, and this will happen. I like it's personal training because it's supposed to be personal. I feel like the ideal personal trainer, you're supposed to talk with your clients. You're supposed to educate them on what they need to know. Educate them on the benefits of healthy living and proper dieting. Educate them on knowing what they are and supposed to be doing, what they're not supposed to be doing. Make sure they're following the meal plan that you put them through. Make sure that you're working the days you're not with me, that you're following up with your days you're supposed to be doing cardio on your own, or the days you're supposed to be working out without me, because you can sign up to train with somebody for one time a week, but if you're not still doing something at least those other 2 or 3 days in a week, you're just wasting your time. I'm just teaching you something for nothing because you have to stay consistent with it. Your body has to go through these changes. It takes the body 3 weeks to develop change. Like, it's going to take you 21 days for your body to get to the point where, okay, something's happening. I think I'm getting used to wanting to wake up to go work out now. With me, meal plans, consistent workouts. We're going to make sure we take, I'm going to check your body fat percentage, check your BMI, how much water weight you're carrying. We're going to set a certain goal for what you want to be and what you need to be. And we're going to go from there. And a lot of times, like I tell people, even if you're not losing the weight, if it's benefiting you and making you healthier, and let's say you're losing body fat percentage, but you're not losing the weight, then we're making progress. Because the more muscle you add to your body, the more calories you burn at rest. So ultimately, that's my goal for people. I want you to feel like, even if you decide, hey, I'm done, I don't need any more training, I want you to feel like I learned something from this. And I want you to feel like you've inspired me to want to do this when I'm not with you, to go get to wake up in the morning and go run my miles. And then tomorrow I'll go work on my chest. And then the next day I'll work on legs after that, and so forth. It just depends on what your goal is. And then we'll set something from there and we'll target what body part we'll work on and just keep it going at that point. Everybody's goals are different. Sometimes I may tell people we may meet in the gym or we may go to the park. We may go to the park and get a more of a higher intense workout because it's heat. The heat is going to naturally make you sweat more. Now, I'm not going to put you directly in 100 degrees in the sun. Like, I'm not going to want to sit out there with you in 100 degrees myself, let alone trying to instruct you. But it's like sitting in a sauna. The sweat and the heat is going to test your mental more. It's going to test your endurance more. It's going to see how far you're willing to push yourself to get this. And that's always what I want to do. I always want to push my clients to be the best that they can be, to be, better for themselves the next day.
Now, as we close out here, I always ask people, what gem would you leave with our viewers, whether here on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook, Just about your philosophy, whether it has to do with fitness or life in general, kind of just what would you leave us with?
Consistency is key. Consistency is key in anything you do. If you're not going to be consistent to it and keep trying it and keep trying to see what works for you, you'll never find out. You'll never know. As I said this earlier on in the interview, if you're not consistent in this, your body's going to go back to where it was. It's going to plateau. And the next go around, you're going to have to do something even more harder than you did the last time to get over that hump. Anything, relationships, consistency is key. Working out, consistency is key. Any job you're trying to do, if you're trying to be the next Michael Jordan or LeBron James or something, if you're not consistently going to that gym and putting up those 100, 200 jump shots a day, working on your ball skills and so forth, you're never going to get it. You're not just going to wake up and have it. Because one thing about it, there's always somebody out there who's working when you're not. And you have to always be mindful of that. You're not the only person out here trying to do this. And you have to always make sure if you're trying to be the one being the instructor or the trainer, and depending how you're trying to recruit people, you have to make sure that whatever you're doing stands out so much that people believe in you and think, I need this. I want to work with this person, And the only way you can do that is if you're consistent. You can't have a weak mental and think you're going to be consistent with something because you're going to always quit. Don't ever quit, because you never know when your next time is going to come, when your break's going to be here, or better yet, you never know who's always watching. There's always somebody watching you.
Yeah.
So, just stay consistent to it, and I promise you'll get the results you're looking for.
Definitely. So for the viewers out there who don't follow you currently, if you run down your social media for us, please.
Yes. Well, we're currently on here. This is my main account. This is IAM _ Jules, JUELZ. Follow my fitness page, people out there. Follow my fitness page out there. That's GetFit _ Jules. My actual name, which is JULES. So that's GETFIT _ WITH _ JULES. And that's my fitness account. And if you go to my main page, IAM _ Jules, you can see that is listed inside there as my fitness page. I'll be uploading more videos now that things, well, I'm not going to say things are really open, but I have more access to where I can go back to continue my workouts and so forth. So be looking out for that. And if you guys are, you're trying to look for training or trying to get fit for a decent and affordable price, just, hit my inbox and we can go from there.
Awesome. Well, Jules, thank you so much. All that stuff will be in the description as well, so they can certainly hit you up.
All right. Appreciate it much, man.
No problem. We'll talk after this.
All right. You have a good one.
All right. You too.
All right.
All right. So I'd like to thank Jules Palton for coming on Focus TV this evening. He is out of Houston, Texas. All his information is going to be in the description when this goes up. What I'm about to do is I'm about to get off here, watch my documentary for the first time, actually, the whole thing. So if you go onto my page, you can certainly click on the YouTube link and you can see the documentary that has just been dropped. It's all about me, called Who Am I? The Journey to Finding My Focus. Focus TV will be back next week with 3 shows, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we look forward to it. You'll know who the shows are next week. They are kind of a surprise. We're going to have fun with it. And I hope you guys can join us. But other than that, everyone stay safe. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week.